really quickly if the end is here. Jacob handed me this brochure that he got as he was getting off the metro here in Washington, D.C. a couple days ago. It says, the end of the world is almost here. Holy God will bring Judgment Day on May 21st, 2011. The back cover says, for biblical answers to your questions, listener call, open forum, a live call-in program on Family Radio. The website is familyradio.com. And and then they've got a list of all the radio stations that they're on, over 60 radio stations. Thom Evans is with us. He is the spokesman for Family Radio Worldwide, familyradio.com. Tom, Saturday, the world's going to end?
Yep. According to the Bible, yes, it is.
Okay, so what's it going to look like?
Well, it's not really going to end. It's just going to be two things. One, it'll be ushered in by a huge earthquake that mankind has never seen before. And we're talking about the Japanese earthquake times whatever,
No, that was local. You're talking about a worldwide earthquake, or is this just where there are Christians?
Nope. It'll begin with in one section of the world, and then it will work its way around the entire world. And so there is...
Could this be the flipping of the poles that has been predicted by some?
No, this is going to be completely different than that. This is just going to be something that the entire world will know, and there won't be any question about it.
Okay. That's part one.
Part one, and that means that earthquake will cause two things. One is all the believers who are alive on that day and present on the earth will be changed and caught up and meet Christ in the air, along with all those that Christ will bring with him. And they'll come, although the people of the earth will not see Christ, they will not see him come, but what they will see is that the believers will be seen being raptured or caught up.
Sure. I have some confusion about this rapture thing, and maybe you can clarify it for me.
I'll try if I can.
The Mormons believe that they can go back and convert somebody to Mormonism who's already dead if they can just find that they're a member of their family, and that's why they're so into genealogy, apparently. And that person then will be with them in heaven. I believe that they are kind of into the rapture. But didn't the rapture in its current incarnation, that is literally, I realize, in Revelation and some in one of the Gospels, actually, Jesus talks about, people joining him in the last days. Mm-hmm. But that the modern version of it really came out of a 19th century preacher suggesting that the dead would literally rise up out of the ground, their bodies would be made whole, and they would float up into the sky. And then apparently when this came out, there was a big debate about, no, it's not the physical body, it's the spiritual body. It's just going to be souls going up, and the physical bodies of the good people left on earth, the true Christians, are actually just going to fall over dead because their soul has gone up. And I don't know how this is all being resolved amongst rapture-believing Protestants.
Well, the only example really that God gives us that we can know, there's a couple of examples, but one in particular is when Jesus, when he left, after he was resurrected and was on earth, then he, went up to heaven again, and the
right, physically. He said, put your hands in my wounds.
Right. So he was physically, resurrected from the dead again, and he had his physical body, but then that body is going to be changed. And how it's changed and what the nature of the new bodies that believers will get, we don't really know.
Tom, how do you deal with the other religions that have their own end times? I mean, there are what we would call radical sects within Islam that believe that there's I think it's called the 13th Mufti or something. I'm sure I'm mangling it, but that basically, the prophet's going to return and he's going to take people with him. There's the story of the yugas, that we will enter the Kali Yuga in Hinduism, and that there'll be a great transformation. That there are these long cycles.
Well, let me just say this, Tom. That mankind has its religions,
right.
God has his. And so it doesn't matter what religion we're part of. We can believe anything we want.
Right.
But But all I care about, or what Family Radio cares about, is trying to be faithful to what God has written in the Bible. And
to your interpretation. Well, I'm curious, Tom, if you believe this,
I do.
Why are you asking people to donate money at your website?
We're not.
Well, why do you even ask people to go to the website? Why not just say, get ready?
Well,
or better question, how do we get ready?
Boy, you've asked 3 questions right in a row. How do we get ready? Well, the only way to get ready would be to become a child of God, and that's something that God does. Salvation is of the Lord, so we cannot make ourselves ready by doing something. God must make us ready, and we must become born again, and that's something that only God can do. Mm-hmm. And so the question is what we should do. What I would do is, if you know something bad's going to be coming upon you, I would just get on my knees and ask God for mercy. Beg to Him, because really this is not an issue of trying to prove to anybody whether this is true or not. It's too late for that. The question now is God warned us that this is going to happen? And if He has, we better get ready for it.
I'm looking at your website. Gay pride is a sign of the end? Are you serious?
Well, okay, that's another question. We're not saying, okay, in the Old Testament there was a situation, Abraham, for example. God told him that He was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah.
It was actually Lot.
Well, yes, but he first went to Abraham and told him he was going to do that, okay? And then Abraham pleaded with God and said, and then...
If you can find just 10 good men.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I know the story quite well, and we only have a minute left here. Okay. Interestingly, Lot was the good guy, and he left with his 2 daughters and his wife. His wife turned around, looked back, turned into a pillar of salt, and so he had sex with his 2 daughters, and that's the lineage of Jesus. I mean, it's a rather strange story, isn't it, to base a religion on?
Well, I mean, that's the Bible. What doesn't matter about that necessarily. What matters is, and we don't have enough time to talk about this, but God has warned of this day. He's given specific examples of what to look for as signs before His return. Jesus gave us some, very definite signs, and those signs are evident. They're here, and they're all around us.
So you're saying the gay pride movement is Sodom? Okay. All right, Tom. I'm not yelling at you or debating you. I'm trying to understand this, and I appreciate you coming on the program and sharing your perspective with us. For a long time, we've had kind of cartoon characters of people with the end is near on their sandwich boards, but apparently you guys are serious about this. Well, maybe we'll have a conversation next week.